You couldn't reissue it, for 3 additional days, right? Then you reissued it without attempt of service, yeah. And then Heidi moved out of the county, yeah. And then you waited 48 days when it says that 14 days. Now this return of service and the person that you served other than myself, you're sure they didn't commit any crimes, is that right? Because I didn't. I provide all the evidence that I didn't. Yeah. And just so that I know, yes. Does anybody know where my wife lives because we're still married? Yeah. And do you know the actual day when she no longer was a resident of Clallam County? Because if the county intentionally issued this protection order because of her not being a resident, well, I think there's a crime in that. Now you're trying me for violating a protection order where there's no acknowledgement of the petitioner. Quite possibly her residence was not in Clallam County during those dates. Yes. And they moved to Quilcene or Brennan. Yeah. And for 3 years, I've informed you that it's against the law. See, I did send an email on November 20th of 2015. Yes. To the Port Townsend Police Department. And you're trying me for violating a protection order that has forgeries. Yes. Quite possibly is a forgery, yes, of the court commissioner, yes, that this signature is not the same as that signature. This signature is not the same as that signature, yes. This protected person and petitioner didn't reside in Clallam County right now. Now, we're working with that fraud again. Oh, Under Pennsylvania law, a petitioner has 30 days from the entry of the order of the lower court to file an appeal with the Superior Court. Yeah. Now, I went through the Superior Court rules of Jefferson County. Let's say I appealed the decision. Would somebody call the Superior Court judges of Jefferson County? Now, I know this is a forgery. Yes, I know this is a forgery. I know that's probably his actual signature, and I know that that's probably not his signature. But, but for some dumb fucking reason, you decided to issue this when the individual wasn't a resident of Clallam County. Well, this is something to think about, right? The earliest date Johnson's federal petition can be deemed filed is March 30th of 2007. The date on which Johnson's petition was signed. Burns versus Morton. You know, this petitioning courts to review, right, what actually happened during the whole trial process. I think all of these need to be moved 6 months back. Now, let's say you accidentally spent 6 months in prison. You got adjusted, yes. And you realized that there was some errors because you didn't understand what the fuck was going on. Now, the limitation period has not told, however, the petitioner seeks a writ of certiorari. Supreme Court of the United States. You know, when I called the clerk of the court, yes, got the voicemail because her mailbox was full. For those that want to have some information about the certiorari that they have filed with the Supreme Court of the United States, how frustrating that nobody was there to answer the phone on a Sunday evening at 7:27 p.m. Yes. And there was no voicemail box. Now, let's say you're in prison, right? You're using one of the prison's phones. And it's cost, what, $2, $3 a minute to find out if they got your application right, your petition to the Supreme Court of the United States, um, of the certiorari. Yes. I think it's somewhat torturous for individuals in time zones, well, in any time zone really, to think that those in prison always have available the telephone from 9 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.